So that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't heard her sing, though, for a while, so it was good to hear her again.
Next week, I definitely don't know as many.
No, I was looking through, actually, today when I woke up. I was like, oh, yeah, who's coming up this week on the showdown? And I was like, oh, I only know 4 of the 8,
Yeah.
I think.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So it should be fun, right?
Yeah.
Learn new things.
It's nice to meet new people.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to episode 20 of Smack Talk.
Is it 20 already?
It is 20. Feels like just yesterday we started this.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
That's a
This episode brought to you by Happy Ending Divorce and Separation. If you are going through a non-contested divorce, you can head to www.happyendingdivorceandseparation.com and they can help you get all your paperwork sorted out and save you a bunch of money on lawyer fees.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And
Powered by Blue Willow Entertainment.
Blue Willow Entertainment. The engine that drives this whole thing, Blue Willow Entertainment. We had a really exciting last few weeks down at Gravity Coffee Roasters.
Mm-hmm.
And we're heading into week 4 of the showdown. By the time this airs, the first round will be over.
Yeah, just have finished probably next week.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
So
It's been great.
it's been great. Awesome.
So keep following along if you want to see some amazing artists. We head to the National Music Center for the next round, which will be on March 14th and March 28th in the afternoon. Come on by.
1 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
To be determined on tickets, but we'll release that soon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. All right. So here we are.
Yeah, we have a guest with us today as usual, and it is Julia from Found. Is it Found Books and Shop
Yeah.
in Cochrane?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I almost wanted to say Found Sounds, but also that is a thing we do there.
Yep.
So let's get started by talking to you about what you do with why is Found not your average bookstore?
Ooh. Well, maybe because we weren't supposed to be that, and so it's become what it is by accident and what's the word? Design, I guess.
An accidental design. Okay. I would love to learn more about this accident.
Yeah.
How did this
A
accident
happy
occur?
accident.
Well, it turned out to be a happy accident, yes. But it was COVID. That was like the main thing. Before COVID, I was a travel agent for many moons and had just opened my own storefront just before COVID hit, about 6 months before. And as you know, travel stopped with COVID. And so then we had to figure out something else to do with our space because we had negative money and still all the bills. And so in Cochrane, just put it out on a few places because we had no idea. Like nothing was really sticking between my husband and I trying to figure out what we could do with our space in the meantime. And there was like an overwhelming response for the need for a bookstore in Cochrane. And that was a really serendipitous thing for me because that's how I fell in love with travel because I didn't travel as a kid. So I just traveled through books. And so I was like, yeah, that'll work. Because I'm not much of a shopper, so we're trying to do like gift stores, and I'm like, that's just not something I can put passion and love behind.
Yeah.
And so then we just started with just used books and just thinking we were just going to bide our time until travel came back, and then as travel kept not coming back and the books kept growing, realized that there's something there that we could do something with.
And is that the same space of where you're at right now?
No, we were down the road a little bit in about 600-700 square feet to begin with, which was perfect for
Getting started.
A little boutique travel agency. Yeah. And then starting with books was great too. Yeah.
And then obviously it just kept growing. Books kept coming, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to move, I'm assuming, to your new space.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have to move, I guess. And every now and then I wish we just kept it simple. But yeah, the reason why, because I'd worked from home for years and years and years, and it was great. It did really, really well from home, but I had this like itch to get more into the community because I just would just focus in at home and then would stay at home and then and that was my day. And yeah, so the reason why we opened the agency was with the idea that I'd be able to build more community, and it was kind of happening. But it's different with travel, where books I had no idea that the conversations and the connections and the stories, which I shouldn't have been shocked at, but the stories that came out of talking about books with other people that like books. And so we were starting to build that community that I was kind of envisioning would have happened with the travel agency that just didn't have the right, I don't know, platform, I guess, or something or whatever for that. And yeah, so then we still kind of kept it as a living room, which is how we'd had the travel agency set up, but we were running out of space because we needed more shelves for books. And that's when I was starting to think like, well, maybe we should get a bigger space because then we could have a coffee bar and we can have an area for people to just sit and not have to leave, and it's not transactional. And yeah, and so that's when we started looking for space.
And was it before that moment? I guess, was there a moment where it kind of crystallized for you that this was like the thing versus, pivoting back to the travel agency?
I don't know if there was an exact moment, but I remember when we first started selling used books, I was like, I don't know how bookstores make this a successful living. Like, I don't know how they do it. And so I was researching more and more into that. And I remember saying to my husband, did you know that the average bookstore can make $700 a day? And in our space that we were in at that point, that would have been like, oh my gosh, I would have been rolling in it. But but yeah, and so that was just like a mind-boggling thing to think that there could be money to be made in books. And so then once we were actually getting closer to that average a day, which we weren't there yet, but I was like, okay, there is potential if I'm smart with this. Because originally it was just like, let's put books on the shelves and see what happens. And I like books, so it'll just be something fun until. But once we realized that this is actually something that could turn into a viable business, which I should have thought that it could have, but but that's when I started to become more serious and strategic on what it is that we could actually do to make this work. And I found that there was so much less stress with books than there was with travel. And so that was the other thing too. Just like I was having a lot more fun with what I was doing.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Hmm.
You want to be having fun at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so what was the pivot into the news space?
Mhm.
And obviously it's a lot bigger, so you could do more there.
Mhm.
When did you decide to move into there and sort of turn it into what it is now, I guess?
So it was probably about a yearish into doing books that I was able to finally convince my husband that it's probably a good idea for us to look seriously at a bigger space. Because I'd been talking about it for a while, but he was just basically like, okay, Julia, patting me on the head. And so once we were both on board with the idea of this, even though in my head I knew it was always going to happen, whether he or not, um, what was important to me was to be able to have space to be able to grow the books, to have a coffee bar, to have, like I said, like an area where people can just like sit and feel like they don't have to leave, or they can just stay and stay. and and then when I was realizing that I was really enjoying um, working with books more than I was with travel, I was also mourning the loss of the area that I had started to grow into with travel, which was on the music side of things. So I was booking musicians and their tours and their bands and everything, all the logistical side of travel for that. And I loved being a part of that on the behind the scenes and just like seeing all the ins and outs of travel of the music industry that you don't see from the performance side. And so I was mourning the loss of that piece for sure. So when we were deciding to jump in on a bigger space, I wanted to be able to design it to be able to have some sort of events. And hopefully in my head, I was hoping it would be musical events, but it didn't have any vision on what that would look like. But that was a big part of when we were deciding to do it, that I wanted to be able to have a space that could host musical events of some sort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's where we came in and met you, and we were like, this is a great venue. Wow. It's
And
such a cool spot.
yeah, so when you were setting it up, did you kind of create that little corner nook and that sort of tiny desk vibe? Was that sort of the vision, or did that kind of come after?
No, that was part of the design. Yeah, it was like once we knew what the space was, I like the only major things I had was that you would be able to say hello to people as they came in, but you weren't right in their face. Like that was my number one thing. And then space for a coffee bar, an actual staff room because we had a closet before, and then a stage. And so that's yeah. So those four pieces were important for the design, and then everything else was kind of built around where those made sense. Yeah.
Well, you did a wonderful job.
Not on my own.
It's funny how you said you're able to say hello to people but not be in their face, because I obviously have been to Found many, many times, and maybe that's why I like it so much, because it's true. Like, you don't just like walk in and there's like a desk there and someone's like, hi, how can I help you? You know, it's like it's back a little bit.
Oh, good.
So it's kind of nice, right?
Good.
Like, it's like you feel like you can walk around and do your own thing. And then if you have questions, it's easy to find someone, but yeah, it's not in your face.
Good.
So that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
You accomplished that.
By design.
Yeah. And then, so I guess you get the space set up. You have your new bookstore in the front,
Mhm.
and then you have used books in the back
Mhm.
with your coffee shop, and then the stage.
Mhm.
And so, how long did it take till you started like having artists come perform?
I guess we were in there for about 2 months. One of the gentlemen that helped us set up the stage piece of it was I didn't know him at all at that point. But he's like a huge music buff, and so he was like super excited to see that we were putting a stage in. So he was on a mission to make sure that we started to get live music in there because he really wanted it. So he was so shout out to Bob. He was the one that got us our first concert, because I don't know when I would have actually started, because I do have a lot of fear and like imposter syndrome going on. So he was the one that made it actually happen, because otherwise I don't even know if we'd have music actually, because I'd still be thinking about it.
Well, just taking that leap, right?
Yeah,
Like, who do I
yeah.
ask to come play even,
Yeah.
or how do I find an artist
Yeah.
that wants to be the first one,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever
Yeah.
it is?
But he did all that.
That's great.
Yeah.
How many shows do you think you've had at this point?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've been in the space for it'll be 4 years, the beginning of March. So at least one a year. So I mean a month, sorry, at least one a month.
So like
But
50 plus?
yeah, but yeah, I'd probably say 75 to 100, because yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Something like that.
What have you learned about live music and that?
How much I took it for granted, for sure. And that you don't need a big fancy name to have incredible music. Sometimes better music, really. But yeah, and that books are really good acoustics.
The acoustics in there are quite good, actually. That's
It's
a good
nice.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Never
really
thought
like-
about the
yeah.
books being a part of that ambiance, but yeah.
That was a happy accident.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah.
Just wandering around having happy accidents all over.
Yeah. Keep those up.
What is there a couple of shows that really stand out in your mind when you just kind of reflect back on that journey to this point?
The first one for sure.
What was the first one?
So Martin Russell, who's a classical guitarist. So it was just him and his guitar up on the stage. But seeing that we could, at that point, we didn't really know seating wise what we should put in there. So we filled it to what we thought we could at that point, and just seeing people enjoying that, and like just the intimacy of it, and and again, I was blown away by the acoustics back there. Like, it was just like there's no bouncing, there's no, like, it was so beautiful. But it was more the people when they were leaving, the smiles on their face, like just like, okay, this is something good, this is something that people want or need, and maybe they don't even know it yet, but that they're leaving happier than when they came in. And that's, yeah, so I think that would be the biggest thing is from that first concert was just like, wow, this does something good for people. And then I don't know.
It's a tough one.
Just to put her
Yeah.
on the spot.
But that first one for sure, just knowing, okay, this is something that we should keep doing, and I can do this. Yeah.
And that would have been early 2022, I guess. We're in 2026 now.
Yeah, it was the end of April.
So,
yeah.
I guess it was kind of newly out of the pandemic time, right? When people were just getting back out to see music again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be meaningful even, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
is
probably
true.
contributed to it, I bet, a little bit. Like that feeling of like, okay,
That is so,
this
I
is
didn't even
cool,
think
you
about
know?
that. That is so true.
We're back.
Yeah.
Live music is back.
Yeah. But tentatively, I think we were all still in that, like, it
Right.
might happen, it might not.
Yes.
Right?
Like we were still wearing
Yeah.
masks sometimes. And yeah, I remember those times.
Mhm.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That's what I mourned. I'm sure we can all probably attest to this. That's what I mourned the most about the pandemic was live music.
Mhm.
And I have a friend who lives in Mexico, and they did the shutdowns differently and like kind of opened things up way faster, but then they had to shut down again. But anyway, at one point they were all wide open, and he was sending me videos of this like band playing in a bar, and I was just like, I had like a tear. I'm like, I'm coming to Mexico. I know. So thank goodness that all came back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thanks to people like you for having live music in your venues that we can enjoy, because that's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think there's something magical about the end of a show, though. Just like how you mentioned, like when everyone kind of gets up, and it's sort of like that SNL goodbye when everyone's like kind of coming up and talking to each other. And I don't know, that is often my favorite part of a show, is just how it all kind of comes together at the end. Or the thing I remember the most, anyway.
Yeah. You got to book like artists' tours. So like that's kind of neat, even though it wasn't maybe the most exciting stuff, but it's kind of cool that you had your hand in music back then as well, and that you wanted to get back into that a little bit.
Yeah. Like I would book, the craziest thing that I booked wasn't actually music, but it was, Cirque du Soleil. So there was, Cirque du Soleil that was doing a cross Canada tour, and the management, God bless them, didn't know, weren't familiar too much with Canada, I don't think, when they chose what they did. So they had all of the rehearsals done in PEI. I think because it was the cheapest spot to rent space is my guess. But
the far end of the country. Okay.
Yeah, so the Canadian management that I worked with, they had no idea, but that was all we could come up with. It must have just been the cheapest spot to be able to rent space. And so we had people coming from all over the world. So from like Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Europe, all sorts of different places in Asia, South America, Central America, North America, Canada.
These are the performers.
All the performers that have to come with their gear to PEI. And so like there was one time that I was on the phone with an airline. Well, I had to call, I don't remember. There's 4 different airlines I had to call for somebody that was, I think they were coming from Mongolia, I think is where they were coming from. But they had to come with I think it was a 12-foot pole, or 16-foot pole. So I had to call each airline to make sure that we would be able to get that pole onto the plane, because some of them were little, especially once you got into Canada and then had to get to the island, right? And there was one airline that I talked to that their English was very minimal for them, and I did not speak a lick of whatever language they spoke in the country that they were in. And so I was trying to explain that we needed to bring this 16-foot or 12, it must have been 16-foot pole onto the plane. And so they were asking, like, will there be water in it? And like, I don't think so. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if the pole is water.
You're like, I don't know.
And they're like, what will it be made out of? And I knew what that was. I can't remember now what it was, but and they're trying to understand, like, and will it, like, does it collapse or is it intact? I'm like, no, they can't collapse it. It has to stay at the 16 feet. And they're asking questions and questions. And then eventually I'm like, oh, you thought I was talking about a pool. And so then eventually we were able to figure that out through. I don't know.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that was part of it. And that was the craziest tour that I ever did. And of course it was winter, trying to get off of the island, and the bridge closed, and they had to get to start the tour.
Just crazy.
Yeah. But most of them have been a lot simpler than that, but that one's the most memorable. And then and I worked with a lot of really cool artists, really incredible management, and got to meet people that I never would have met, and go to concerts I never would have thought to go to on my own. And it was really cool. And that's it. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. Totally.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And one thing I just wanted to pick up that you said before, you talked about how many stories have come up since you've opened the bookstore and just not what you expected, just from the people that come in, the stories they share and that kind of thing.
Yeah. And not always connected to books. Yeah, it's interesting. Like there's I've never had the thought when I go into a gift shop that there's like a space there to talk about much beyond maybe, oh, this smell reminds me of something, maybe like something like that, where there's something with books that when I reflect back on going into bookstores as a patron, like, there's this like feeling of openness and like vulnerability almost, and it's okay and it's safe. And I think people must feel that when they come into our store too. 'Cause there's so many stories about life and death and marriage and babies and good, bad, travel, all that stuff that just seems to come out of just being surrounded by stories. I don't know. Yeah. And then there's lots that come out of like, I read this book and this is what it did to me, and like all of the things and all the things that can unfold from how a book has impacted life. Well,
Do you get recommendations from a lot of people on books to bring in and sort of that kind of thing as well?
Yeah, and that is awesome, but it's also one of those things where at the beginning I just wanted to please everybody and have everything for everybody. So almost killed us at the beginning, just because I had never worked in retail, so didn't really think about the whole supply and demand side of things.
Like how many books you have in there.
You love this book, we'll bring in 10.
There must be 9 other people that want it.
So that's been a good thing now, where we're able to now like reflect back and be like, is this something that other people will most likely want at some point? And
What's been the hardest part for you, I guess, with the book business? Is it learning all the different strategies? Is it kind of keeping up with what's current, or what stretches you in that world?
What stretches me in good ways is keeping up with what's current and learning all of the past as well, because I only have now 4-ish years of book selling experience, really. I have me as a reader, but I was a very casual reader beforehand. So so learning more and more and more about what I've missed learning about over the last decades, centuries. So that's been really, I enjoy that side of it a lot. The part that I struggle with the most is because like I said, I'd never worked in a retail environment at all. So learning it's more the supply and demand side of things. And every day I get it wrong, but getting better at making softer mistakes than at the beginning. So that would be the biggest learning, is knowing what to bring and what to pause and what to be okay not having on the shelf, but being able to order in for someone.
And so now you were a casual reader 4 years ago. So now are you like a serious reader? Like, has it turned you into that?
Yeah.
Because you want to read all the books, I guess,
Absolutely,
that come through, or that
yeah.
people recommend, or that you have seen.
And I
Right.
can't, but
Right.
I'm doing the best that I can.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that would make you a pretty serious reader
Yeah.
if you own a bookstore.
How many
Yeah.
books a week do you read?
Oh, a week, I don't know. Like in
A month.
in a month, I'm probably averaging about 5 now, where before I was like 1 a quarter kind of thing, except for during COVID, it was an exception where I was reading more. But
30. I read 30 books this month. 1 a day.
Yeah. So it's a constant challenge, because I still want to enjoy the books that I'm reading and be able to retain a little bit of what I'm reading too. Because I don't want to just be skimming. So I'm reading 5 books a month, and that's a mix of audio and physical.
I was gonna say, do you stick to the physical, or you still dabble with the audio? Or
No, there's a really, am I allowed to put a plug for a company?
you can do whatever you want.
There's a really cool company called Libro.fm. So they're like basically an independent audio bookstore, and so they have really great values that are very opposite to some of the billionaires that have audio bookstores.
Good to know. Good to know.
And they also support independent bookstores through the sales. So if you as a subscriber were to buy a book from them, you get to pick from the drop down what bookstore you would like to support, and then a little kickback goes back to that bookstore as well, which is really cool.
And are you one of the bookstores?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I need to get some inspiration to read again. So I don't know what. I might have to come to Found more and just sit with the books or
Yeah.
something, because
Yeah.
I used to be a reader, and then something changed. I guess I just got busy, but there's no excuse.
I think I know they have a silent book club. That's a thing? Yeah, you can just go read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just surround
That
yourself
seems
with
like
other
up your
people.
alley, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm actually right now reading a book called 53 Ways to Read, I
Oh,
think is what it's called. I could be wrong. I might have to double
Something,
check that after.
yeah.
But and it's each chapter is very little, and it's just giving you different ways or strategies to start reading, but it's written in a way that's like really entertaining and really like makes you think and pause. Yeah,
I probably
really
need
cool.
to read
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's
but
a good
one of
book
the
to start with.
things that is like I've been seeing more and more and more and more is that our phones are like our worst
Yes, I agree.
enemy for all sorts of
definitely.
things, but reading in particular right now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
true, because like before, when we didn't, like we had a flip phone or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And we'd go to bed maybe like an hour before we wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
And what did you do? You read,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that was like what I did anyway.
Yeah.
I'd give myself an hour
That's
or
what other
whatever,
cool people
right?
did.
Yeah. But now I'm like, oh, but I could check this. Oh, I forgot to do this. And it's just so convenient.
Mhm.
So then you're doing work where you should really be sleeping,
Yeah.
or reading.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you're like
Put your phone
doom-scrolling
away.
at all the awfulness that
Or you're on
happens.
Instagram, which you don't need to be on
Mhm.
at 10 p.m. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's what
Yeah.
happens to me. I have to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I text you at 10, just tell me to stop texting you.
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
asleep usually.
He usually is, actually. He goes to bed
Good
a
for
lot
you.
earlier than me, unless we're out at something, but
I'm not reading usually,
you're
but
just sleeping.
I do like reading.
And TVs are in bedrooms now.
Mhm.
Like when I grew up, that wasn't a thing.
My parents had one.
My
Yeah.
parents didn't, and like our kids certainly didn't. Whereas a lot of kids now have
Mhm.
TVs in their room. So maybe it's taken us away from our reading too, I guess,
Yeah.
a little bit. But
Hmm.
let's get back to reading. That's what I'm trying to say here.
That's the plug. Get back to reading.
Read
Go to
live
Found.
music.
Go to Found. Get yourself a book, sit down, get a coffee, and read.
10 out of 10 recommend going to Found.
Yeah, let's talk about the experience of Found, because before I found, like I didn't really know that's what a bookstore could be. I guess, like I've been to used bookstores. Like there's one in Calgary. I don't remember the name anyway, but it's not a cafe. It's not what you have, but it has like a cool feeling because it's like a cool old bookstore, right? So I like that feeling a lot. But there's nothing like Found. Like it's such a different experience. Like you come in, I sort of talked about what it looked like. You come in the front door, there's like the new books, it's shiny, it's pretty, there's some gifty things, some soaps, some candles and whatnot. But then you come around the back and it's just like a completely different store. It's like two different stores almost, with the used.
Yeah.
So like what is a typical, I guess there isn't one, but there must be two types of customers that come in, maybe. Or is there more than, like, what do your customers
Your
look
customer
like?
archetypes?
Yeah. There must be different types of customers there, because it's not just a new bookstore. It's not just a used bookstore. It's not even just a bookstore,
Mhm.
really. It's like a shop and a cafe
Yeah.
and a place to gather, right?
I'd say like our biggest would be people that are pointedly coming for books. Like I think that would probably be our biggest pull, which I guess is good as a bookstore. And then there's people now, which is only over the last couple of years that the cafe side has become more and more known. So there's now people that will come in purely just for their drinks and to come work or whatever it is that they're doing, or have a coffee date, that are not there for books at all. And that's cool too. And then there's also just the casual people that are walking the strip. So we get a lot of organic traffic into the shop that didn't even know that we existed, which is really fun too. And so
People waiting in line for ice cream that goes all the way down there.
yeah. Yeah.
It's such a great spot, obviously. Like you're in the heart of the Cochrane, like downtown, I guess, right there on the main street. So yeah, it really couldn't be any more perfect area to get that foot traffic as well.
Yeah, it is a good spot.
I would say that I am the customer that comes to have a coffee and work. But maybe that'll change this year, and then I'll also be getting my books.
Or you're reading through osmosis, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I brought my nieces there once, and I bought them both a book, and I bought my daughter a book there, but...
I've not bought a book yet, but I did go there once when I had no internet at home and worked for the day, and it was awesome.
Seth and I have gone to work before. Yeah, Seth and I work there sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll open up the laptop, do a little bit of stuff, get a coffee.
Good old laptop.
Get a little London fog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you have a vision for how you see it evolving over the next few years, or do you kind of see it more of the same and just kind of getting more experienced? And
I see, or I hope, a lot of the same, and then just continuing to foster and perfect what we're doing already. But also, so on our lower level, we have a small used vinyl section, so that we're looking at growing and having like half of the lower level being vinyls, and more just like music, so like posters and t-shirts and all that kind of stuff that go along with music, and to amp up the amount of events that we do that are around music is something that we're hoping to do over the next six months, to start making that a bigger part of our space as well.
Yeah. Well, and I guess on that, we've collaborated on a few events now. What's your feel been on, we've done Found Sounds, music for mental health, all that kind of stuff. What, how's that been from your vantage point?
Oh, it's been awesome. Yeah. I've met artists that wouldn't necessarily have been on my radar quite yet. And that's been really good. And just getting to know you guys I like you guys.
Aw, we like you too.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, finding businesses that we align with is really, really a cool thing.
Yeah, even the open mics have been awesome. Just seeing all the different people from the community coming out and just kind of creating that space. You haven't been yet, but you have to come out in March.
I have to?
I think so.
Yeah, it's now.
Okay. Yeah. It's happening probably. This will be airing as the...
Pretty much as that's happening.
Yes.
But it's a good time. I mean, you meet a lot of people, and people are coming out from Calgary to come to it, which is cool.
Yeah.
And some Cochrane artists, which is neat too.
Cochrane.
I think that's something cool too. That like you discover, oh look, there's all these like artists in Cochrane too, right? That you didn't know. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've been introduced to several artists through there.
Yeah, well, Turner, we know Turner, who's played at the open mic and also opened for Kate at our Found Sounds.
Yeah, Noah.
Yeah, he was in our songwriter showdown.
Yeah, and then he's opening for Justine.
And he's opening for Justine. That's right. So yeah, so already there you go. 2 new ones.
Yeah, there's some other ones too, like Carrie. I'm drawing a blank on her last name. Carrie Hunter. Yeah, she's been great. She comes out to all the open mics, and yeah, it's a good thing.
And Mira Quinn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she came out there. That's how we met her. That's how we met Mira Sylvain.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh good.
So
perfect.
It's a happening spot.
Yeah. I like
good
it.
scouting spot musicians.
I know. Well, and that's what we say, because we actually get a lot of artists that we don't know yet. Excuse me, that reach out and say, hey, how can I get booked? Or like, how can I work with you? Or whatever it might be. And we're like, well, we need to hear you sing, or we need to see you perform. So come to our open mic. So that's kind of like where we're sending people now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? Because it's like, we have it. So why not? We're going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, Seth will be there. And
you in March.
And I'll be there in March. So if you really want to get in front of me, come in March.
Yeah, you're the talent scout.
Am I?
Yeah.
Sometimes. We both find people.
Yeah.
May I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
Do you have roles like on who's in charge of what?
Not really.
I think we started with that. Mac was predominantly the PR communications, and I was predominantly, I probably always done everything. Yes. But originally there was 8 of us when in the first few months of Blue Willow. So we had like a business stream, a artist stream, a studio stream, and then like a general operations. And now Mac and I just do everything.
The camera sometimes moves. If one of us talks more,
Oh.
like it like favors that person. So that's what's happened. Yeah. So yeah, we just do everything. The two of us, essentially. Like we have Eric, who's
Yeah.
the founder, but he's extremely busy in his other job, so he does as much as he can. But then sort of really relies on us to just kind of run the show day to day.
It's evolved a lot over the years now. Like we used to do a lot more, I guess I would say like label management type stuff with artists, studio stuff. Now we're more in the predominantly live event space. So, there's a lot of sponsor conversations, venues. And yeah, we just kind of tag team it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like booking, promoting, curating. And then there's like a services stream too. Some artists just want us to help them put on a release show or help them put on a tour or help them release a song or an album.
Yeah.
So we do that as well.
Less of we're directly managing artists, I would say, now versus 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you like it that way?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
It's a tough equation, I think, for a lot of artists. I think the thought of having like a team sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Having a business sort of setup that can provide for an artist and a team is like a whole other thing. And so I don't know. It's been not that we're opposed to that type of situation coming up again. It's more just like, an artist having enough resources for them to be all in. And then on top of that, have a team to kind of support that it's a tough equation for, an unestablished or an establishing artist.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've just found our best world, I guess, is to kind of create an infrastructure and be able to work with as many artists as we can in a way that is meaningful to us and them. And then also on like the venue and community side, like curating events and doing things that people want to be part of. We found a kind of a niche that I think is working and doubled down on it.
Yeah. And I think that's also why we liked you so much at the beginning, because that's sort of you stand by community a lot too. Like you're a huge community supporter in Cochrane, I know, but also in music now too, supporting the music community. And that's what we want to do, and bring people together through music and like have a community of people that really like support each other and can be like doing different things for each other is really cool.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, everything we've done with you has really been at the heart of that. I mean, whether it was the Music for Mental Health we kicked off with, the open mic, which is completely community-based, and the Found Sounds, which is really just about showcasing, emerging artists and introducing audiences to new talent, but also curating it in a way that it's, unique and it's its own thing. That's kind of exactly what we want to do with everyone we work with. So thank you for working with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to work with you.
One thing I will say I don't know what it is, but Cochrane, and I don't know if it's a Found. Is it Found that does this, or is it just the Cochrane community? This is what I need to figure out, because every time we've done a show there, and every time you've done a show there, people just come. Like, like they just are there. And I'm like, I don't know anyone here. Like I know maybe 2 people or 3 people, and I have some friends in Cochrane that I say come and they'll come. But usually there's like at least like 90% of the people there I don't know.
Yeah.
Which that's not common, because a lot of times I'll be like, we're having a show. And so I tell all my friends to come because I'm like, we need to sell tickets. Or it's like other artists come to support artists they know or whatnot. But
I think at the crux of it is Cochrane seems to support live music, but is it Cochrane or is it Found or
That's
is it a
what I'm
combo
wondering.
of?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we don't know because we just come to Found.
Yeah.
And that's where they come.
I will say that there are some very loyal Found patrons that come because they just support everything that we do, which is incredible. And then I don't know if it's because it's at Found. No, I can't say it's because it's at Found. I think.
I mean, you can.
No. I would say it's because the community. Like we don't have a space that's like meant for more of like that listening room style.
Well, that's what you have.
Yeah. So if people are looking for that, I think right now we're the only spot that you can enjoy music that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
lots
mean,
of other really cool venues, but just different.
yeah,
Different vibe.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. Um, there's not a lot. We were talking about this with someone the other day. There's not a lot going on, like nightlife wise, in Cochrane, other than like restaurants and things.
Not that we would know.
Well, I mean, I know because like I know what Cochrane has, and there isn't like.
It's more of a reference to we don't really go out past 10
Yeah.
p.m. I guess.
Yes, that's true.
Well, I think 9 p.m. is kind of late in Cochrane.
Well,
Yeah. I live in Bragg Creek, and it's the same there,
Yeah.
so I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like if you want something to do, like if it's a Saturday night and you maybe want to go out, like Found, that's a great option. You'll have maybe come see a show, or I know you guys do other events as well that aren't music focused, like around books and well, why don't you tell us some of the other events you have?
So there's like we'll have authors come in and like poetry readings and different book clubs and things like that, and then people will rent the space for private events as well. So we have birthday parties. We've had a couple weddings. And
Really?
Yeah.
Weddings?
Yeah. That was something that I never
Wow.
thought would happen there. But there's been a couple of weddings. They were both so unique and so beautiful, and those are really cool.
Never would have thought of that for a wedding, but now I think of it and I'm like, why not? Because you have the stage.
Yeah.
And I know you set up the seating however it needs to be set up.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So looking for intimate and being surrounded by books. It's
That's
a good
cool.
spot. Yeah. I don't know what.
I know you did like a Taylor Swift listening
Oh
party.
yeah.
For the release.
Yeah. And then like more creative evenings. Like we're trying really hard this year to focus more on things that will support or encourage more analog life. So like nothing that has to do with your phone. So doing more creative things like I don't know, like painting nights and candle making and things like that are coming. But yeah.
Cool.
Love that.
Yeah, you have the space, might as well.
Yeah.
Bring out the people.
I know we've talked about it a lot, but for folks who don't know where Found Sounds is or how to interact with you guys, where should they go? Found Sounds, all of it.
Found Sounds too.
Yeah, what's the best place for people to learn about you?
Probably our website would be the first spot, which is foundbookshop.com. And then we're on most of the major socials as Found Bookshop.
Perfect. Amazing. Everyone go check it out.
See you in March.
See you in March.
At
the open house. I mean, open mic.
Open mic and Found Sounds. We got both in March.
Open as a house team, yeah.
Yeah. Come get a coffee.
On that note, we could migrate over to our final segment.
Oh, yeah.
The
Songs of the Week.
Songs of the Week, brought to you by Rapid Artist Merch. If you need high quality, no minimum orders, quick merch, rapidartistmerch.com. And Mac likes to say she always goes first, so.
Yeah, and then I forgot the exact name of the song, so I'm just going to make sure I don't get it wrong.
Okay.
I got it. So this lady is in our showdown. She played on the weekend in our third week of the showdown, and we've known her a little bit, but I haven't seen her really play a lot, and so I was like really excited. And I know she's folky country, but I wasn't sure really what to expect. And then she got up there and blew everyone away. So I think she deserves a shout out. And the song was absolutely gorgeous, very sad. She did tell me beforehand that she's going to start sad, but the songs will get happier as she goes.
Well,
so I said, cool.
We'll see based on the prompt. They don't even know what song they're doing next, but that's fine.
Yeah, fair. But anyway, her name is Jessie Bird.
It was so good.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
You got to experience it.
Haunting. Like it was just, it was so beautiful.
Yeah, and the song's called Break It. But yeah, it was gorgeous.
Her preamble for everything about that was great.
And it's on all the things if you want to check it out.
All the things, Jessie Bird. Break It?
Break It.
Break It. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to give a shout out to a guy we just met, just kind of came into our world a couple of weeks ago, and we had the opportunity to go check out his show at the National Music Center. It was sold out.
Oh, I was like, I don't go out.
I did convince you to go out to this one.
And I was so glad I went.
I know, you left crying.
Oh my gosh.
Aww.
Julie, I was bawling.
Like
I had to leave. and come back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So he has a show that he's been doing all around the world, actually, and it's I forget what exactly it was called, but it's Bob Marley's story, but it's also his story told through
Yeah.
how Bob's music inspired him,
Huh.
and it's like a concert. So he's doing all these like old reggae songs, all these Bob Marley songs. There's kind of a slideshow going in the background, but he's also explaining
It's like
his
a
story.
spoken word aspect to it as well,
Oh,
in a
cool.
way.
Yeah, and he also touched on like the slave trade and where reggae music came from, and just like a history lesson, concert show all wrapped into one. And it was sold out at the National Music Center, and a friend of mine had told me, hey, you got to go see this guy, see my buddy. His name is Dwayne Forrest, and he's in Australia right now, debuting a new show, so a different show than the one he did here. But that's kind of his thing. He's doing these like musical theater. It's not quite musical theater, but it's in that vein, I guess. And he's also an artist. He's got his own stuff, kind of Jack Johnson-y, if you kind of go give it a listen. And was listening to Chevrolet, but he's got a bunch of stuff on there that's really good. So Dwayne Forrest Chevrolet is my reco for this week.
And he's from this area?
He's from Toronto.
Oh, from Toronto. Okay.
Yeah. I think he lives in Montreal now, but from Toronto, and just recently was in Calgary and wandered into our universe.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
The one that I'm going to mention, actually, this might be another memorable show that we had, and it was one of the first ones that I put on from start to finish. Well, I didn't put it. I booked it.
Yeah. You can take credit. Don't worry.
And it was a serendipitous thing again, where she had just come in as a patron of the bookstore and shared something on her stories about what she loved about the store, and I just happened to look on her profile and saw that she was a musician, so started listening to her music, and I was like, holy cow, she's amazing. So she was one of our first like on our own concerts, and she and her sister did the performance together, and her sister needs to keep singing too, please. And her name is Josiah, and she put out an album last year, and I have two songs that are my favorites from that album. It's so Colors is one, and then Therapy would be the other. And she's on all the places too.
All the places, all the things.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds great. And where is she? Calgary?
She's Calgary, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
Yeah.
You got to make a playlist with all the songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of your thing.
I know, but you have to give me the login then.
I don't have it. That's just my Spotify. Do we have a, we might actually. I'll look.
Okay. Anyway, I'll put that together.
Julia, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Great.
That's
Yes.
fun.
Let's keep working together.
Yes, please.
Okay.